Welcome to Living with Intuition Coffee Chats, your source of real perspectives, insight, and humor from down-to-earth, kick-ass intuitives. Join Lindsay from Super Secret Powers and Andrea from A Soul's Journey with Andrea as we delve into today's coffee chat. So welcome to Living with Intuition with me, your one host, Lindsay Baldessano, and of course, your second host, Andrea Dabrowski. Oh, okay. No, it's okay. Sorry. From A Soul's Journey with Andrea. Yeah, I guess she'd be over here if we're looking at Facebook. That's weird.
No, you're still pointing the wrong way on Facebook.
Oh, that's funny.
When I'm looking at you, you're pointing to a wall, not me.
Because on Zoom, you're above me.
Oh, so you're next to me. Oh yeah, you look like you do on Facebook. That's how I see you exactly on my tablet. So I don't, or my laptop, whatever it is. We,
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's weird. It's flipped for me. All right. Well, in case you missed the first couple minutes of this, that's okay. Yeah, my the computer I'm on right now is literally just out of the box. I just set everything up. I'm still figuring out where all the buttons are because they moved, of course. And my whole keyboard is like over here because there's a keypad over here. So I'm not typing well and I don't know where my buttons are. So if we seem not quite as put together, that's fine. It will be by next time because I think I'm just going to sit here and practice typing for the next 3 days, just on and off, just to get some muscle memory back in here. Back in here. Um, hmm.
Oh,
But it has been an exciting week, I think, a weekend for both of us. I mean, it's certainly a better week for me, and things did kind of lift. I mean, sort of. My husband is still a little off kilter today, but it was still much better than three visits to the ER in one week.
I was worried.
And I know Andrea did something very exciting this past week. In case you didn't see her posts, I'm going to let her tell you about it.
I did Holy Fire Reiki 1 and 2 this weekend with Megan Rose, and it was a blast. I met some wonderful ladies. And I think we all showed each other just how powerful we are and helped us come into ourselves because, I think we all came in with that little bit of imposters, syndrome, like, this can't be right. You're not this powerful. We don't have this much energy in us, magic, and by the time we were done, we all believed in ourselves and in each other. And we were just, it was just like a nice little community we have now. And we have an alumni group to belong to. So everybody that's gone through the courses is there to talk to along the way. And I had some wonderful journeys and revelations. And Holy Fire is a little bit different than your normal Reiki because you really get to embody the whole energy of holy love, loving yourself, that higher power that flows through you, and you start to really understand your own magic. And it's a big confidence builder. It really wants you to be one with it. I've been having dreams about my hands being on fire with it, and dragons, and all kinds of messages coming through about my blueprint. And I had seen my whole like future like flash before me in the one experience. And it's just I came out of a waterfall with the mermaids putting a robe on me in the one. And it's just like so many magical things telling us what goddesses we really have always been. And it's time to believe, it's time to step fully into ourselves, into that power, and really recognize it and embody it and be it. And it really changed me completely. I I realized a whole bunch of stuff about myself afterwards and my dreams. And while I'm doing my self sessions for the next 21 days, I keep getting more like downloads and messages. And I really, I've always known I'm not alone. I've always had guardians and guides, and I've always talked to angels and everything. But this is just a higher kind of channeling that it was like a total upgrade. I I will be explaining it better in the future. I'm still digesting a lot of the
Processing. Yeah.
downloads and the integrations, and I just feel like it was like this big initiation into the next level. Like it just it's so much more than just the classes, the people, the the energy just really just I
The
just don't
timing of it.
know.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
extraordinary. It's beyond anything I can have words for right now. It's just wonderful.
did you feel like you needed to do anything beforehand to prepare yourself? Like, did you even feel this coming on? Like you knew it was going to be bigger than just a class?
It shook me so much that I was like scared to sign up for it. I felt like it was like stepping over that fear and actually saying yes to myself. And I had a big little confrontation about it with myself before I actually said I'm leaping in. And I felt like that was like a milestone to begin with, because I do have problems with that fear. I back off. I don't like to go into that unknown, especially since like the divorce. I've been like, it's been really something I've been fighting a lot with myself over. And I felt like that was a big step, just saying yes. Because I'm like, it's big. It's really big.
Yeah. Well,
And
and what do you think you're actually shying away from, though? I mean, I don't, it certainly wasn't the money. I mean, but the money comes when the money comes, and it's kind of right in this kind of situation. But I don't think that was it.
no, and it wasn't. I really was clear on doing it, and the money wasn't really, and that's unusual too. Sometimes I do worry about how I'm going to pay for things, like because it's always about like looking into that future, like going, oh, kind of feeling. But no, I think it was because I knew this was going to be something that would change me beyond anything that ever changed me before. And I think I knew I asked for it. You know how you ask for things, but sometimes you don't realize how big they're going to be when you finally
Yeah.
get it. And it's like, oh shit, I think I asked. Remember the day, the time, the prayer, the talk I had was
It's
for
funny though.
about something.
Sometimes you don't even recognize it when it comes though, or like it's just like, but I asked for this and this isn't what I wanted. It's just like, well, now we asked for something a bit more specific, or now we asked for, and then then you have to figure out whether you want it or not
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
I'm like, but no, this is exactly what I asked for, exactly what I do need. This is exactly the path I've been on with Megan since, like for like 2 years now. And I'm like, no, don't put it off. Do it. And the dates changed, and I got this house where I'm at now to do it at, because the first one would have been like in September. And I love my gang of huskies, but there was no way.
No.
Because I mean, in the instructions, like in the emails beforehand, it's like nice, quiet place. Have other people take care of your animals and kids. Put this time just for yourself. But I'm like, no, there's no way with huskies. I'm like, I was like telling her,
Yeah,
like,
right.
I signed up for it, and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. And then she changed it, and all of a sudden, here I'm in Oxford, and I do have a dog sitting right next to me, but he's very good. And as long as you keep petting him, like all day, he had his big head on me. He's a Saint Bernard, and his big head was on my lap like the whole day. It's like he knew it was good energy for him too. The cats came around, and they were looking at me like, oh, this is good. I'm just gonna sit here and purr. I'm like, So we were
Why
all
are you
like,
shining?
whoa. This is like the chillest house ever. And I mean, and I have so much nature around me. I'm on a farm on a dirt road. So like on our breaks and our lunches, I would go outside and the air is nice and crisp here now. So it's like I go take a little walk just around the property. There's a creek right next to me. And I would just like really sink into everything that was happening, you know? And I wasn't scared anymore. I feel very comfortable with everybody because a lot of times that I'm very social in the social situations I want to be. But when there's new people and new things, sometimes I back away from that too because I'm like I don't know what to do with these people. What do I say? It's like I just like, and I just didn't have that with this group. I just like settled into it right away and it was like perfect. It was amazing. It's still sinking in. And I'm gonna write about it a lot because it told me to.
Well, another other than, of course, signing up to do now the master teacher session,
And
which
April,
we were talking about before. What else do you think this is going to inspire you to do, this big shift?
I really, I have a lot of dreams about, I mean, like life dreams, not sleeping dreams. A lot of dreams and like desires to help people, to heal people, to really be part of a community, to be to to really make a difference in the world. And I mean, there's just flashes in the future that just they went really fast, but my feeling wasn't that it was a normal kind of practice with it. It's going to be something that's going to help everybody and help myself. I mean, help my finances, help my business, help everything, but it'll be a unique way of doing it. It's not totally clear yet. I keep asking for help on seeing the vision of the blueprints, but I think they're going to give it to me in dribs and drabs as I'm ready for it because it's a long journey yet to like the things that they were showing me. So I just really have a different, I feel like my whole concept of how I do business and how I like I've been trying to put together a workshop on um on healing from divorce and stuff. And I think it's going to evolve into something with that, adding that to the
Yeah,
concept. And maybe
that
why I
would
was
actually
a
be
little
quite
stuck.
amazing.
I was a little
Yeah.
stuck with the whole like thought process of where it was going and how to build it as like a
Mhm.
workshop. And so I have a feeling that might like speed up a little bit in how I'm processing it and how the ideas form at least, getting me really going on perfecting it before I release it. So that's
Hmm.
why, I think it all fell together the way it should. The sky's limitless.
Hmm.
And it keeps reminding me about those little affirmations in my ear. I keep hearing the little whispers of things that keeping me going because they don't want me to fall back into the old pattern because I'm definitely going somewhere different now. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense, like it's just I feel like it gave me so much more confidence in general, the magic within, you know, all those fears about showing the world who I really am sometimes, even though I am very open about who I am, I don't know if I've actually showed the world everything that I am yet. And and it's
Yeah. That's always kind of the process of becoming with it. Because we're
right.
kind of, we're new, I swear, like every couple months, every
Mhm.
6 months with the eclipse.
Year, especially this year alone, I feel like it's accelerated. It's like you get these little learning things and you feel like you're all and then all of a sudden you're like, whoo, and it's like, oh, I got so much to say and do. And then it kind of takes you back down inside again. And it's been up and down like that all year. But I feel like 2024 is going to be big. I feel like
Mhm.
everything that we've been doing is coming together and it's going to expand and be more prominent in our lives in 2024. It just feels like the year to do
Well, yeah, number eight is
it.
completely different than number seven in meaning, in tone, when we're speaking of the numerology of the year. Yeah. It's almost like a breakthrough year, I think, in a sense, like small victories. But because it's also like the double of a 4 year, it's like doubling down on foundations again. But it's like this time they're going to work. It's not just building the roots. Now
Mhm.
we actually get to build a foundation that we can actually use as we go.
I gather, I think 2025 is really going to be the year for a lot of things really coming to
Well,
fruition.
the next 3 years, even into 2026, yeah, the
And for
astrology is just like,
the
wow.
9 year, nine is my life year, so I think 2025 is going to be big, 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 just because like you get that extra energy with your life year being it.
Mhm. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, I think we're really opening up to, like, generally speaking, I think we're opening up to this idea that, the world is going to be what we make it from here on out.
Mhm.
And we have to be, present with that. And I think a lot of people are scared. They're scared um certainly of not having the control,
Yeah.
that they need to change all the things, but we have to collectively, stand up and use our voices and our experience to help shift like the big societal things that need to shift.
But
Um,
and that's part of that process, when the age of Aquarius began, they were talked about that a lot, that we have to
yeah.
go through these shifts with politics and wars and other countries and everything because they have to grow with us. It's not like if they don't change and we're just changing, the system doesn't work that way. Everything
Mhm.
has to. So it's a lot about releasing. I don't take these wars and problems with politics as truly being as well. It's bad, but it's not as bad as I think it could be. And I think it's because we have to release all this negativity in the world. And also that, I mean, the age of Aquarius is far from being done. I mean, we're
Oh,
just,
no, 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 it's just starting. and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the
And
thing,
that's
like,
why it has to unravel this way because, down the road it will make more sense. That's the way I feel about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's
I,
just
I mean, when you
it
have to live through the
has to happen for
historical
everything.
events and the historical
Right.
choices,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think we assumed that that would happen. Or
No.
at least I didn't assume
How
that would
about the big
happen.
things? How about
I thought, like, things would kind of just realign themselves
this is
as
what
it
you
came
wish.
time to be in the age of Aquarius or New Earth, or however you want to think about coming into the next evolution of who we are and
For
how
us
we live.
as humans, it's a process. For Mother Earth, everything has to evolve.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't think it have to be this conscious process of saying, like, no, I'm going to stand up for who I'm becoming, and not, the generational wounds, and not right.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think that. I should have thought that. But it's certainly like, oh, okay. There's another big heavy thing that we're helping to shift. Oh, there's another one. Let's go through these waves.
Well, it's not going to be easy road, but see, we're being primed now so we can
Yes.
emotionally, mentally, magically, understand a little bit better than most and be able to cope with it all and get through it and understand what our part is to play.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even, it might not even be something you can think of right now. And that's the crazy part, because you don't know what, with everything and how it's been stirred up and is being stirred up and will continue to be stirred up. You don't know what new opportunities, new doors, new venues. I mean, I keep going back to this whole thing where, Gen X really kind of bridged a lot of gaps in a sense because of what we lived through with coming into So the life based on tech and things like that. Um, but that living experience and then choosing how you define it. But I don't think we can like rely on the thinking that like, oh, that's just a fad. You know, that is a thing of the past. Now we have to really look at everything that comes our way and see it for what it can do, what it can't do, what you'd love it to do 3 years from now, 2 years from now, when the developers really start getting feedback on things
Right.
to really define, you know, how our grandkids are going to live and be and evolve. And yeah, it's it's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
amazing.
is.
It is. You just I always try to take the positive approach to looking at it because I mean things are accelerating. And I think that sometimes becomes a little bit more overwhelming because we don't have that downtime between things happening to kind of really get back into the groove of it because it seems like, oh, wow, that happened. Now I could settle back down. But no, boom, the roller coaster goes back up again. And it is really fast moving these days. But
Yeah,
I think that it's a good thing, though.
it
I
is. It is. And I'm just leaning more and more into this energetic perspective where I'm kind of rootless. Like how you would move to a foreign country in a sense or become an expat where you don't have the familiar things around you anymore. And, I might still have my ancestors DNA inside me, but I don't feel like that tie anymore of repeating past patterns, of holding on to traditions quite as strictly. It's just
yeah,
like all has to be like this living in the moment
right.
kind of
It's gotta
thing.
be all what's like truly inside you and not being influenced by anything on the outside.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of things with habits. I think it's been leading up to this too. I've read like
Yeah.
3 books on how to change your habits and get rid of old routines and old belief systems and stuff. And I think that's like what you're talking about because we
Hmm.
get things, not intentionally handed down from generation to generation about what money means, about, but that we're going to be poor, we're going to have to suffer, we're going to have to struggle, stuff like that. I mean, it's been just the thing for generations, and when you step away from that and see that you don't have to carry that any further, I think
Yeah.
that's the powerful notion. And I think
Right.
that's what's been falling away. It's just
Well,
like,
the living experience, just even in these past 2 weeks, has just been like constantly waking up to like a brand new dawn in a sense, where
yeah,
there really is nothing left to cling to, where it's just like, huh, I used to do that. I don't know why I did that, but let's go. Let's just
right.
go. Let's try something new. Let's,
Right. It's like,
yeah,
I mean, like just a couple months ago, I look back and say, wow, when did I stop doing that? It
yeah,
just fell away. It just like stopped. I mean, I don't drink it hardly as much as I used to ever, not even socially. I mean, when did that happen? Is that I'm a beer connoisseur. I like going to new restaurants and finding a new beer. And it was like something to do with traveling and everything. But maybe you associate certain things with, oh, I went to a new town, I have to find their brewery. Oh, I went to a new town, I have to do this. I went here, it's
yeah,
always customary to do it this way. And then all of a sudden one day you just wake up and say, I don't want to do it that way anymore. And it's just how far we've come with our higher being, like living in that moment, living in that consciousness. of
A connection to
oh,
intuition, soul. Yeah.
it's amazing. You don't even realize it until you look back and go, wow, like pictures and stuff come up on Facebook, the memory thing, and I'm like,
A
whoa.
lot. It's like,
Like, I mean, even
oh,
us,
I
like 10
remember
years
that. Yeah.
ago. It's like 10 years ago, us in pictures. I'm like, oh, did that happen? I'm like,
It's like, I guess it happened. There's a picture.
like we've like
You know?
shifted so much. We don't even know our old selves are. I don't. Like,
I'm dealing better with blonde and green hair than I thought I would. I'm just like, hey.
look, it's cute. Every time it changes, I'm like,
This is just because I took the color out,
yeah,
um, the blue, but there's still stuff. It's just like, I don't know what I'm gonna get to do the purple. Okay, whatever. I'm just, I'm here, I'm living, I'm showing up. Like,
started doing lives again like regularly. I used to do my hair all the time and like really feel like I had to be fancy, like the way I dressed and everything. And now I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing my hair. I'm okay.
yeah,
I'm me. I'm just going on like this. It's just like it's like that whole concept of like who we are in the public realm has changed for me. I'm not
yeah.
so caught up on superficial things anymore. It's like it just like naturally all fell away. It's like a really cool thing. Like when
It
you
is shifted in values in saying that it does, what we have to say and the energy we carry and the things we want to talk about are actually just more important than any of those other little things that stopped us in the past. Yeah. Like I don't even think about them anymore. Like especially since the eclipse, where it's just been like all right, it's a new day.
yeah,
I guess I'll just start here.
say that my
And
sleep has been messed up. I have been like so
yes.
anxious at night in this
Oh,
weird
yes.
way. It's just like I feel like I'm having a panic attack every night. And it's not like I'm worried about anything or anything like personal. I can just feel like it's the energy, the solar flares and storms and eclipses and moons and
Yeah, no, my sleep is completely messed up. Um, I'm having a very hard time falling asleep. And when I do sleep, like my covers have just been completely messed up. I think we mentioned in another video where I woke up one day and I had somehow flipped the entire comforter upside down. Like I don't do that. I fall asleep and maybe I'll toss and turn a bit, but I don't destroy the bed usually. But yeah, I've been measuring my sleep for the past week and a half by how bad my bed is when I wake up.
my senses have been really like really on alert. It's like I've been in this house over the last 2 years 10 times. Like, I mean, I don't even know. I haven't even looked, but a lot of times. And I stay for long periods of times. Like this is like 11 days I'm here. So I'm totally used to this house any day, any night, any weather. I've been through it all. And all of a sudden this week, every like the heat knocks or the cat runs down the hall in the middle of the night. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
it's the veil.
me usually. It's just like I'm just
It's the veil because the veil doesn't
yeah.
specifically thicken on the 31st.
No, we've
It's more
been
of
doing
like a
it.
seasonal ebb and wax.
I think it's
Yeah.
all fall. I think it's fall.
Um,
I don't
and you just had this whole experience where your energy is now amplified and more sensitive.
true. Yeah, because it has been since then. Yeah. It's just been really
Hmm.
weird. It's like I don't understand why this bothers me. These are normal
You're
sounds.
just more sensitive. You're feeling things in a totally different way.
This new
And
Lindsay, they've
that,
never
but that even happens anytime anybody has like an actual like paranormal kind of experience. Like it leaves you more sensitive.
right.
You are able to discern your gifts and your abilities a bit more because all of a sudden you're hearing, feeling, sensing things because you're so sensitive in a more, let's say, exaggerated way.
Right.
And it doesn't have to wane. It usually wanes because we usually just then integrate the experience and process it. Um,
I have
but
a feeling
it's
it's
so
gonna
it's like a whole thing you have to go through once your energy reality stuff has been jarred awake from some sort of awakening, whether it's seeing a ghost or going through a class like you did and a whole initiation experience. Yeah. It's just like that other layer.
yes,
That's why having mentors and people who talk about this kind of stuff helps.
it does. Yeah. You're
So
not
you
alone
know that this is a thing that actually happens.
and you can
And
actually
you don't have to focus on it so much. You don't have to stay in that hypervigilance. This is something that could just pass and yeah, if you want it to, and if you don't and you want to explore your abilities, then this is the perfect place to talk about that. But all right, it's been 31 minutes. We've done good. It's been such a deep conversation today, and I think it will continue to be well until next year. Just from the amount of things happening and the amount of shift happening. And right as we're coming into the new year, we're kind of starting that new year off. We are starting the new year off this year, in Mercury retrograde. Just to add a little bit more stirring action to the pot of 2023. We're going into retrograde on the 28th. So enjoy the holidays while you can. I don't mean to make that sound dire and drastic. I'm just having fun.
I will actually be house sitting for Thanksgiving and
Hmm.
Christmas. So it's
And New
actually
Year, I
kind of
thought.
like this like reprieve from the norm too. So
Yeah.
it'd be a good thing.
All right. So if anybody has any questions, any stories, anything that you would love to share with us because it just came up, even if it's just like a validation point, thank you for talking about that. Please leave it in the comments. We love to hear that kind of stuff, and we'll of course, right back to you. Um, yeah, and I will see you Sunday, Monday for the Magic Bringers Rising episode. And again, next week, of course, we will be on with Living with Intuition. And maybe shortly you'll start hearing about sessions that Andrea has available. And I'm working on a bundle. It's going to be a great
Tell
deal.
me what you
So
think
stay
about
tuned.
that. Okay. Energy healing, Reiki, and stuff like that. Would you be open for some distant healing once a week? Or, like give me your thoughts on things like that so that I can kind of conjure up something,
Yeah.
Especially the holiday season because it's a hard time. It's a stressful time to dealing with family and travel and money because you're buying presents for your kids and stuff. I mean, there's like so
Trying to
much to be
crunch everything
grateful for.
in. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, oh wow. See,
Right.
I'll be talking out loud like this because yes. Hmm. It might be
All
more.
right. But brightest blessings, everybody. I'm going to go sneeze.